Hey, hello, welcome to another episode of Here Comes a New Challenger, a fighting game podcast. It's been a hot minute, about a week, but we are back to do a pretty short one, but a fun one because my week was pretty okay and I figured some positivity would be nice. I am your host, as always, Garrett, and I am joined by Austin yet again.
Howdy. Troy can't stop me from saying howdy.
Yeah, because he doesn't have internet. What an idiot. Moving into an apartment for college, like a dweeb.
What a loser.
Getting an education.
Fucking nerd.
Yeah, and then joining us yet again is Zach. It's been a hot minute since he's been here, but he has returned. He's back for the people.
Hola.
Alright,
it has been quite a while now that I think about it.
The last time you were on, it was whenever Blackjack was on, which was like the second episode, I think.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
Oh, you had an episode with Blackjack on?
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah.
I hadn't seen that one.
Yeah, it's the second one. It's really neat.
Alright, I'm gonna have to check that one out then.
Yeah, he's a cool dude.
He's very cool.
He's trying to become a VTuber right now.
He's got some sick editing, I'll tell you that.
Yeah. Yeah, they've all been so good recently. And if you're wondering what we're talking about, my friend Blackjack is editing my streams and turning them into compilations for the Yick stuff. So if you ever wanted to watch my streams of Yick but didn't want to actually watch 16 hours of Yick, you can just watch like 40 minutes of it. And they're all really funny, and the editing gets better with each one.
Yeah. As much as I do want to watch your streams, I cannot tolerate it. I'll be completely honest.
It's not good.
I don't know how you manage it, honestly.
Because I made a promise, basically, of myself to finish it.
I really enjoy watching Garrett struggle, so I enjoy watching it.
You're a maniac.
Besides that, yeah. I enjoy the Yick streams for the mixture of hilarious events that transpire in that game, but also just like there's some genuinely good cringe there. And just like not you, Garrett, but what you were doing and what is happening in the game.
Yeah, it's like, not good. It's a game that I think can almost be good, but there's just so much wrong with it that makes it hard to be like, this is good. It's just like, no.
Yeah, every time you peel back a layer, another equally worse, terrible layer shows up.
Yeah, and you see like, oh, and there's might be like a little bit of good in that layer. Like, oh, I could probably use that in this dish, but then you'll get everything else around it, and you're like, this is barely anything. Or like something looks really nice and you take that part off, but then like you move your hand once and you realize it's paint.
Yeah.
And it's still gross. Like, I have learned recently that I hate Claudio, the weeb. I hate him.
Yeah.
It's pretty annoying when he just talks about anime. It's kind of the worst. But yeah, they're on my channel. Clueless Detective on YouTube. Watch them. They're very good. The newest one came out today, I think, is when I posted it. Because he sent it to me yesterday, and I couldn't post it because I was at work, but I posted it earlier today, and it's really funny. Some of my favorite jokes are in that one with the edits. Like, I love the joke where I'm trying to use the skateboard, but I can't, like, move it. And during that, you hear, he added in, like, Yuri the Wind quotes from his, like, creepypasta episodes or whatever. Like, that killed me, and like a zoom into somebody's mouth of like a photorealistic mouth going, why? It's really good. Editing is great. He's cool in general too. Watch his stuff too. He released a Bloodborne video recently, which is fantastic.
I really can't watch more Blackjack stuff.
You should. You should watch it after this. The Bloodborne video is very good, and he's also released his own stream compilations, and those are pretty neat. Anyway.
Okay.
Alrighty.
We're also gonna, before we jump into anything else, we're gonna talk about what we've been playing. So, Mr. Zach, since you are back, would you like to go first?
We're just kind of talking about what exactly? Been kind of blanking out today.
Say that again, Zach?
I was just saying, what is it you wanted me to talk about? I've been blanking out a bit today.
Just what you've been playing recently.
I've been trying to go back through a couple of older games when I'm not killing myself over and over again in Apex Legends. Just been trying to platinum some titles recently from games I really enjoy.
Hmm.
Persona 5 Royal's been one of the main ones I've been trying to work towards. Though I've also been starting to realize how draining some platinum trophies can be.
Hmm.
I don't even look at them for fighting games anymore because those require skill that I don't have.
Yeah, no, some of them are really dumb. Like get gold, get gold rank, and it's like, oh no,
I don't want to play online to
or
get
whatever. It's
trophies.
like, I know Persona, no, not Persona. BB Tag had one, but it was relatively easy to get. It was get silver, but the problem is though, is that I stopped playing before the community became a lot more sparse, so I wasn't able to. But
Hmm.
whenever 2.0 launched, I let James borrow my PS4, and I just said, "Hey, I'll let you borrow my PS4 and practice for the 2.0 tournament if you get me to silver."
What I find weird is that even with all of the ranking trophies there may be, I looked at the BB Tag trophy list and it's rarer for people to actually watch the credits than to
Yeah,
get ranked and
you have to
praise
go
in
out
that
of your because
game.
like for some reason with fighting games, you have to go out of your way to view the credits.
It doesn't even feel that out of the way for me. Though it may also be because people just don't really want to care about the story too much.
Yeah, it's that, and you can also just view the credits, I believe, in the gallery mode, but nobody ever
Yeah,
does that.
gallery mode.
People are just like, I want to jump in and beat people up, so they never do that. So it's surprisingly hard, but what you gonna do?
Yeah.
Hmm.
May try and go for it. Some more trophy hunting someday. Just I do not hold up the idea that I'm gonna ever achieve a platinum in a fighting game.
I think
But
that's very,
it's
very
been
fair.
for
They're not easy to get.
yeah, it's been fun for other games though, like RPGs and just more single player kind of games.
Yeah, I feel
Hmm.
that.
At least then I don't get kicked around by a person who's definitely better than me.
I've been doing anything else, Zach?
Um, I don't know. That's mainly what I did with my summer during all of this quarantine mess.
Nice. Alrighty, Mr. Austin, the floor is now yours.
All right. I was playing. What have I played this week? I had my brother come in this weekend, and we played a lot of fighting games. I replayed some Ultra Street Fighter 4 for a while. Then we played some Power Rangers. He wanted to learn about that game, and then he wanted to learn some Fighting X Layer, and we were having fun playing those games. And I rekindled my interest in Fexel. And so I might play some more Fexel coming up. But I've been playing a lot of Power Rangers Battle for the Grid because that game is a lot of fun, and I'm really liking playing RJ, and I'm enjoying Lord Zed, and I'm picking up the really goofy giant flying monkey king guy known as Goldar, and having fun just going, "You never had a chance," and he's a fun time, and I'm enjoying playing that character. And yeah, that's like the main thing I've been playing. Besides that, Call of Duty Modern Warfare Warzone, still addicting. It's still really fun. Uh, more at 11, but besides those two things, Civ. I've again been playing Civ 6. The game's a lot of fun to play with some friends, and then because my brother's in town, we played a lot of TFT, and I realized I hate. Maybe not hate TFT, but TFT like really takes a toll on me now because like I'm so out of the loop and I have to look things up, and it's not nearly as fun as I want it to be. Um, and yeah, that's about it.
Oh yeah, I feel that with not with that, but I feel that with like card games and stuff. Or
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
or like Pokemon, where it's like, oh man, I can't wait to build the team, and then you look into all the variables into it, and then all of the other small details, all this other stuff you need to do. It's like, yeah, I'm just not going to.
Fun feels like it gets drained.
Like Pokemon
After that.
specifically is the worst because it's like, okay, build a team of six. They all need to complement each other. They
Mm-hmm.
each only have 4 moves, so you have 24 moves to put in that need to be somewhat. Is 24? No, hold on. 30. No, it's 24. 24 moves.
Yeah.
And then you also have like natures that you need to do, and so you have to be willing to give your Pokemon a boost in one stat and make it go down in another. And then there's like IVs and EVs on this other bullshit. It just becomes this thing where it's just every time I think about it, I'm just like, never mind. Like, because I kind of enjoyed Sword and Shield, I'm like, maybe I can build an online team. Then I think about it, I'm like, no, I'm good.
Yeah.
No. There's a point where you just don't bother.
Yeah, the same thing like that is with card games too, where it's like you have to build a deck, but the deck has to be, in order for it to be a decent deck, it needs to be able to synergize perfectly with it, with all the other cards in it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So, those are too big for my brain.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
It's a very much like you need to know so much before you get into the game to then make your team, and then once you're in there, you need to know so much more about matchups and things to like compete and fight against other people and not get curb stomped. It's
with like 400 characters.
Mm-hmm.
So I just don't. I just grind.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess that leaves just me then to talk about my stuff. And there's a lot to go over that happened recently in the past few weeks.
Yeah, take it away, Garrett.
Yeah. So, first thing, I beat Pokemon finally.
Yeah.
It took me 40 hours, but I did it. Probably would have taken less if I actually just beelined, because I've heard the actual like plot for the game is pretty short, but I just grinded a lot because I thought that was fun. Overall, I think it's okay, despite putting 40 hours into it.
Which one did you beat?
The writing is really bad. Like, it's not the worst generation in terms of writing, but it's up there. The main villain's motivations just don't really make sense and are kind of dumb. I think the plot is... I think the setup is interesting of like, yo, it's... The gym leaders own stadiums and shit, and you fight in stadiums. It's cool. But nothing's ever done with that. Dynamaxing is an insanely lame gimmick. Probably the lamest one they've added.
Dude, it is.
Like...
That's all I gotta say.
Because, like, in Gen 7, the one before, you got, like, Z moves, which were basically, like, limit breaks for your Pokemon, so that was really cool.
Yeah, that was pretty neat.
Not, like, amazing, was like, that's fine, I guess. And then, like, the one before that was Mega Evolutions, and I was like, hey, you know that Pokemon that sucked? We made it not suck. Like, Mawile. Mawile was terrible, and then Mega Mawile came out, and it's like, wow, this is good. Or, like, Mega Pinsir. Like, you take Pokemon that kind of suck and make them good, and I wished that they still did that, even though there are, like, a few that are obviously busted because they give them the fan-favorite Pokemon, like Metagross and Charizard and stuff, but, like, whenever they gave them to a Pokemon that needed it, it was great. And really nice.
Mm-hmm.
But those are all gone now. It's just Dynamaxing, and Dynamaxing is lame. It's just, what if we make Pokemon big and they do more damage and have more health?
Big Pokemon.
Or
finally. Big Pokemon.
Or whatever, or like certain Pokemon change their design, but I think that's literally it. Because like I think Butterfree is an example. I think it turns into like a Mothra looking thing, which is cool, but doesn't do anything. It's still Butterfree, meaning that it's still pretty terrible.
Hey, Butterfree's great. You shut your mouth. I don't need to hear that right now.
Dude, you throw it in while fucking Stealth Rocks are out, and it takes like 50% of its health is just gone.
Hey man, they're trying their best.
Entry hazards, man.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that's that. I beat that. I also beat Blood, finally.
Ah.
The boomer shooter I talked about like forever ago, and I love it. It's really good.
Sounds good.
Yeah, I played for the first. There's like I technically didn't beat it, I guess, because I beat the 4 main episodes, and there's 2 expansion episodes, and I beat the main game at least, and I'm working on the expansions right now. I beat Postmortem, which is the second one technically. I did that one first, I don't know why, but I did that one. And now I'm working on Cryptic Passage. But it's a really fun one. It's definitely really fast comparative to the original Dooms, which are the other boomer shooters that I've played recently. It's faster, which I do like about it. The weapon variety is really neat because it's the 1930s or 1920s maybe. So everything is kind of like that of the time. So you get like a flare gun and a shotgun and a Tommy gun and also like a Tesla cannon, which is like fucking an electric gun thing.
Is this the game that I watched you play a little bit of? I believe I watched
No,
you
that
play
was
a little.
that was Dusk,
Ah, gotcha.
Okay, I think I may be actually mixing those two up.
because Dusk is fucking sick, but Blood was made in like the 90s.
Okay. Yeah, I'm definitely thinking of Dusk.
Yeah,
Then.
Dusk is one that came out recently, like a few years ago, but
Yeah.
this one came out like decades ago. But it's great, and I love it, and I recommend that if you like boomer shooters, you give that game a try.
Is that on Steam at all?
Wait, what?
Is that on Steam at
Yes,
all?
yeah. They have it's called Blood Fresh Supply, and it's like $10.
Oh, not Fresh Supply. Yeah. Okay, I have seen that pop up on your Discord a little bit.
Yeah, and it's usually on sale. It goes on sale for like half off normally. So
Okay.
$5. Really good if you like boomer shooters. I highly recommend. What else did I do? I did started playing more Tokyo Mirage Sessions,
Okay.
which I do
Alright.
legitimately love. Not love, but I do legitimately really really like it.
I think I remember seeing that game being played by Super Best Friends.
Yeah, they did a playthrough of it. Yeah,
Yeah, right before they went out of business.
Yep.
And by that I mean stop playing.
yeah, and that they did that, and it was a really fun one. And now I'm playing the game. I'm like, this game is fun. It's not amazing. The writing isn't super strong, and the characters are kind of flat, but the gameplay itself is great. Just the idea of doing sessions and stuff takes the idea of a Shin Megami style gameplay and turns it on its head a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Which again, I feel like if Yik had better gameplay, then I wouldn't be nearly as like hard on the writing, because I'm like, oh, the game is fun, so whatever. Like
Yeah.
Tokyo Mirage Sessions, but that's not the case. Also, I'm almost done with Yik.
Mm-hmm.
I have
Which,
played
thank God.
16
Thank
hours of that game, and I'm
God.
almost done.
Thank God you're almost done.
Because I streamed earlier today, and I hit the Persona 3 arc of the game, where they're like, "Hey, the world's gonna end in a month. You gotta prepare for it." And then you just
Oh,
grind,
wonderful.
and it takes forever. But I grinded like 20 levels, which I'm pretty sure I am way over leveled, because I saw the creator say, "Yeah, level 38 is fine for the final area." I'm like, "Oh, all right." So let's see how that goes by being level 52.
At that point,
I'm
you just
at-
go all the way, max level.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
December
fuck it.
30th on the game. So, and the game I think starts, like the end game starts on the 31st because of Y2K, obviously. So, gonna finish that next stream, and then I'm gonna move on to something else maybe. And I'm thinking about like Prey or Tales of Symphonia. Tales of Symphonia because I want to play a good RPG maybe. So playing an RPG I'd never played before would be pretty neat. And Prey because I love Prey. I love the Shock games like System Shock and BioShock, so being able to play Prey again would be really nice because I really, really enjoy that game. Especially with it being super, super unique in terms of like sci-fi horror.
Yeah, yeah.
Especially that opening sequence for Prey is fucking fantastic. It's perfect.
I've been recommended Prey for a long time, and I need to jump on that sometime soon.
It is a underrated game. It's a game that like whenever it got announced, people were pissed at it because it wasn't Prey 2.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You know about Prey 2, right?
No, I don't know anything about Prey 2.
So the first game came out in like 08 or something, and you're like a Native American man that got abducted by aliens.
Okay.
I don't know much else about it except for that, and that the opening sequence is that you're getting abducted while Don't Fear the Reaper is playing.
Huh. Okay.
So I don't know how good that game is. I've heard mixed things from my friend who has played a little bit of it. I've never played it personally, and then apparently a few, like in 2010 or so, Prey 2 was announced, and it was supposed to be like an open world bounty hunter game, like a sci-fi cyberpunk type thing. Which that seems interesting, I guess. I'm not into open world games, so chances are I'd probably play it and then maybe drop it. But everyone was really excited for that because of how it looked. And then I think Bethesda, like, people have said that Bethesda screwed over that company and then bought the rights to Prey to make the new Prey, which is why people were also mad at it. because Bethesda's not a great company. But
Yeah.
they gave the Prey rights to Arcane, who was on the Dishonored games,
Yeah.
which are also great immersive sims. And so they were like, "Yo, let's turn Prey into a weird horror immersive sim that's like BioShock / System Shock, technically, because System Shock it takes place in space, but BioShock doesn't. Anyway, point being, Prey's great. It's really good. It's really fun. I still get jitters every time I play that game or see a GIF of the game whenever you're like inserting the neuromod for the first time.
Okay.
Because what you do is that neuromods are like the game's equivalent of plasmids, basically, from BioShock.
Mm-hmm.
They're like, yo, what if you can just give yourself the ability to be really good at math? Or the ability to pick stuff up. And so you give yourself neuromods, and they're injectors, but you inject them through the eye. So, like, the very first cutscene you see of you picking one up, like, an hour in, is, like, you're looking at it, you press a button, you see the stabby things go up and down. You turn it to face you, and you just put it towards you. So you just see the two, like, needles going towards your face.
No.
And that's it. Like, it doesn't, like, show you getting stabbed by them. It just cuts to, like, the Jimmy Neutron brain blast thing, basically, of, like, showing stuff going into your veins. And it's like, thank God, but Jesus Christ, I freak out every time. Like, I wouldn't be able to do that. I wouldn't be able to live in that world needing to stab my eyes to make myself better at math.
I'm wrong and don't remember hearing about a VR mode.
Yeah, there's a VR mode. It's a isometric multiplayer game. I think it's to where one person wears the VR headset and everyone else are mimics.
Okay.
And so your friend needs to find all of you who are mimics. Which that's also a thing that the game is known for, is mimics. Because, of course.
Alright. I'm gonna get that game. I need to get that game probably tonight. I've been meaning to play it, and I need to go ahead and just do it.
That game is great. I love it.
Yeah.
Very underrated. And then also nobody really played it when it came out, but then I think it now has a cult following / did pretty well.
Mm-hmm.
They released a pretty big DLC thing for it, didn't they?
Well, yes, they did. Moon Crash.
Yeah, Moon Crash.
Moon Crash is basically, yo, do you like the gameplay of Prey? Yeah. Well, what if we made it a, what's it called? A roguelike. Boom. And I play that every once in a while, but the base game is better. But Moon Crash is a really neat addition. What else did I do this week? Because I'm going on big tangents. That's because I'm just trying to... One, I'm filling for time technically, but also just trying to think of what else I played. I messed around a little bit of Tekken 7, I guess. I just did a little bit of Noctis recently because I'm like, I want to do some Noctis combo, and I did. I'm like, this is neat. It's a shame that if I play it online, it's gonna suck, but you know, at least I can do combo. And then I also did a more unique stream recently where I streamed myself making colors in BB Tag.
Oh, yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, it was like, I'm probably gonna start doing that a lot more. I might do that tomorrow actually, because I have an idea for one. So I want to do Itsuki Aoi from Tokyo Mirage Sessions and Crom as Narukami and Izanagi.
Okay. Actually, I really like that. That works really well.
Yeah, so what I did, that one was like an hour long, and I did Alan Sylvester from Brand New Animal as Hazama.
Mm-hmm.
Basically a smug asshole being into a smug asshole, which is great. And then I did a character named Captain Ash. He is from Gundam Age.
Yeah.
I've never seen Gundam Age, but I do know that he's the pilot of the Gundam that I play in Maxi Boost, which is Darkhound, who is a pirate Gundam.
Yes.
And it's sick as fuck. And I'll talk about that in a little bit. But I did that, and then I also did my friend Nishi, who really likes Neo, so I did him as Neo with his online persona.
Okay.
So I'm probably gonna do that again tomorrow, maybe. I don't know. I'll figure it out. That was a lot of fun. I just kind of liked making colors and chatting a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
That's the worst. Hold on. And then I did one more thing. I bought, I impulse bought the Gundam fighting game. Gundam versus Extreme Maxi Boost On, I believe it's what it's called.
That is a hell of a name.
Yeah, I don't even know if I got the name right. I'm sure I got it a little bit wrong, and if Troy was here, he would have corrected me.
I'm pretty sure I've seen some people talking about the game, and I know that it's a hell of a name anyway,
Yeah.
so...
But I impulse bought it because I'm like, yeah, why not? I've been building Gundam models, might as well just try out the game, and it's a lot of fun. It is a arcade game, basically, that got ported. So playing with a stick is totally possible, because it is a 4-button fighter.
Okay,
You have your
interesting.
ranged attack, you have a melee attack, you have the boost button, which you can do to do like a little jump thing, like a jetpack, or you can press the button and immediately press a direction on the stick to do a dash, or you can just double tap. And then there is a switch targets button, and then everything else is like macros, like AB, BC, AB, AC, stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
So very simple to pick up. There's a shit ton of mobile suits in general to choose from. And the character that I chose after messing around with it is Darkhound, who is a pirate Gundam, as I said. He has like hook hands. He has not like hook hands, but he has like hook hand like things, you know, like the pirate hook, pirate hooks.
Yeah.
And that is a projectile you can do, and when you hit somebody with it, you bring them in.
Oh,
So that's really cool. If you ever played the Devil May Cry games, he also has a round trip where he just throws his beam saber out, and that's really sick. His range attack is alright, but I love his design. It's just a black and pink Gundam, I believe.
Hmm.
And he looks so good. I am bad at this game. I have played maybe like 5 rounds of Troy, and me and him were a team, and I do not know what I'm doing, and I am bad at it, but I'm having fun, and I think it's a game that if I want to get better at, I just have to play it because it is very hard to practice.
Mhm.
You can't really lab. It's not really a combo game.
Yeah.
It's very much a learn the situations and learn movement type stuff, so
Mm-hmm.
I think that's it for me, actually.
Yeah. Pretty busy week. A lot of stuff going on.
Yeah,
a lot of
that-
stuff.
Yeah, so let's talk about 2 news pieces that happened recently. The first one, we're talking about Dragon Ball,
Mm-hmm.
because we finally got an announcement for one of the new DLC characters, which we haven't known for like months.
Yeah.
I think Ultra Instinct Goku came out in like March
I
or
think
April.
around that time. Yeah.
Yeah, it was right around then.
I want to say it's around there. I think it was like right after
It was
COVID
like
hit.
2 months after Tesla.
Yeah, it was during quarantine. I know that much.
Mm-hmm.
And he came out.
Maybe even been May.
Might have been May, yeah. Either way, it's been months since we've heard anything about it, and we finally got a reveal. It's Roshi.
Yeah.
Which is
no
sick.
one's surprised.
Yeah, to no one's surprise, but it's sick because that opens the way for Hercule. Because that means that weirdos can be in the game.
Well, no. It also opens the door for Tao Pai Pai, Mercenary Tao.
I
To
would
be-
love more Dragon Ball stuff like that.
Oh, me too. But yeah, interesting for sure. Choice in Roshi. I don't think I expected Roshi, I expected Roshi, but I didn't
Yeah.
believe there would be Roshi.
Yeah, but it's
And
just like they could probably do that, but why would they when they could do more Goku?
I mean, Yeah, man.
We need another Goku. Come on. Goku the game.
dude, Goku time. GT. Next is gonna be Dragon Ball Fighter GT, and then it's gonna be all Goku time.
Yeah. Roshi's supposed to come out in September, if I remember right.
Yeah, September, which is exciting. I want to
Yeah.
see. I really want to get my hands on him. He's looking like he's gonna have like a lot of like weird special moves and stuff.
Too much footage of him, weirdly enough.
Yeah,
Like,
Oh, good.
like from what I saw of him, he looks really good though.
Yeah.
Like, I'm genuinely excited to get the pass just to try him out.
Mm-hmm.
There should be 2 more for the pass as well.
Yeah, and we know one of them technically because they both got leaked. They got leaked with Roshi.
Oh, what was it?
And that's Omega Shenron apparently.
Ah! Who wants Omega Shenron? Bring him to me. I want to have a conversation, okay? Why do people want Omega Shenron? I don't understand it.
That sounds interesting. It's not one I'm actively trying to push for or anything.
The character that I want, in terms of like weird pick, I do think Omega Shenron's more of a. It makes sense technically because it's the GT villain, but this is what I mean. I out of like weird, strange weirdos I want in the game, I would rather have had Pycon. I think that's his name. He's the Chrono Trigger dude.
Wasn't that the one that had the sword that Trunks has or something?
Yeah. It's he gave Trunks the sword or whatever, but that's not canon, so whatever.
Yeah.
Neither is Janemba.
Yeah. So, but in terms of that, I think that'd be cool to have Pycon in, because Chrono Trigger dude would be cool, and his what's it called?
Rudigarn.
Yeah, the big gold dragon. There, he's like, I'm gonna summon it with my ocarina or whatever because he has to fight it.
Oh, it does look like we actually did get a list of different events going on for Dragon Ball Fighters through the rest of the year. I didn't notice this one actually.
Yeah, but no rollback.
No rollback.
They're just doing smaller regional tournaments with their bad Wi-Fi or their bad online play. But hey, they're doing something at least. No rollback, but well, they're trying.
Yeah, we got Dragon Ball World Tour Tenkaichi 2, which is literally what it is. It just changed the name.
Yeah, pretty much.
Good job.
The Dragon Ball Fighters National Championship.
Yeah, so that's cool. But that's not the coolest thing, I think, if I'm being honest.
No, it's not. The other thing is cooler.
The next thing is pretty sick, and that is another character reveal, but not for a game that most people like talk about or most people care about, and that's Skullgirls.
Yeah.
And I'm saying most people care about because if you tell me right now, yeah, I like Skullgirls, when did you last play it? When did you play it?
When did you last hear anything about Skullgirls?
Because chances are the people who say that they really like Skullgirls are usually the people who just talk about the animation and also have not played the game. But yeah, either way, a big reveal. They revealed that Annie of the Stars, which is a weird girl who's like a parody of the magical girl anime genre,
and Steven Universe
is coming to Skullgirls Mobile. Which at first is like, that's this year. It's like, that's kind of okay, I guess. Another character to the mobile game. More reason to play that, but I don't play it because I'm like mobile. But then they're like, yo, she's also coming to Second Encore next year.
Yeah. From what it sounds like, it's easier to animate characters for the mobile version because, there's less to animate, yeah.
Yeah.
Which makes sense, but I'm glad that she's coming to both regardless.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, she's been a background/side character for Second Encore and just Skullgirls in general for a while, from what I've heard.
Yeah, she seems like a lot of fun.
Yeah, there's so many cool stuff that she has. Like she has a lot of like DMC stuff.
Yeah,
like she has a round trip. She has a Helmbreaker, I believe is what it's called, when you bring somebody down.
Yeah.
With her sword. She has a Stinger as a she has Stinger as her bionic arm super. Which is really cool. Yeah, Stinger is whenever you stab forward with the sword of Dante.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or like whenever he does the like the beginning part of Dante Must Die, the Dante Must Die super.
Yeah.
It's so good. Like
the Dante Must Die super.
I mean that's what it's called, is Dante Must Die.
That's amazing. I don't think I've ever really thought about that.
I want to say it's either Dante Must Die or Demons Must Die.
Yeah.
Because that is a difficulty mode in Devil May Cry, is Dante Must Die.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
UMVC3. I'm gonna look it up real quick. Dante move list. Let's see what this is called.
You're gonna be looking through all of Dante's moves.
When did Second Encore originally release?
Like 4 years ago.
Okay.
Yeah.
4 or 5
It's
years
older.
ago. It's been
It's
a
really-
long time since they updated it. Like, updated it with a character, I should say. They updated it recently with a new stage and everything, but, like, in terms of adding a new character, the last one was Fukua, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Either Fukua or Robo Fortune.
but still, this is really exciting. Truth be told, the fact that
Oh, yeah.
they're still adding in new characters
Okay, I
is
found the
really
name. I'm
cool.
gonna interrupt you real quick and ruin all, what's it called? All not motivation, but build up you had, and just say that it's called Devil Must Die. So you're welcome. Anyway, yeah, it's really sick.
Yeah.
It sounds like that if this launch for Annie goes well on the mobile and the second Encore platforms, that there actually might be even more content for the games in the future.
Mm-hmm.
That would be sick if they brought in more characters.
Oh, absolutely.
From Skullgirls, because I can see like Black Dahlia being really cool if they added her. I can see there's some other characters I can see being really great additions. They could add Stanley.
I don't know who Stanley is. I don't know who
He's
these
a
characters
shark.
are.
He's a shark in a lab coat.
Okay.
Oh yeah, the shark in the lab coat. I
Or his
remember that.
apparently his gimmick was just going to be that he can move forward. He can only move forward.
That'd be amazing.
Or like or Panzerfaust.
Panzerfaust.
Yeah, look up Panzerfaust.
Panzerfaust does sound amazing. It's the name of a grenade. That's what I know it from.
Oh yeah, what the hell is this thing?
Oh, Potemkin?
Yeah,
It's definitely
it's
looks
Potemkin
like
with
a
a tank on his
Potemkin.
arm.
That's amazing.
So yeah, I want them to put in Panzerfaust.
Oh,
I
I would
can get into that.
love to see Panzerfaust in. This seriously does look like someone with a Potemkin playstyle.
Uh-huh.
It's probably just literally Potemkin.
Probably.
Looks cool. I like that character. I'm a fan. What did I say? Yeah, I'm very excited for any of the stars being announced and coming to like second encore and everything. I'm excited to see the reception of the character because I want them to be get a lot of people back into the game and get the game kind of revitalized so we can potentially get more Skullgirls stuff.
Mhm.
And she just looks fun. I actually was like very much interested in her gameplay style. So I'm excited. Yeah. Not much more to say on it. The only thing I can think about it with her is her triple dive kick thing.
Well, that's really cool too.
Yeah.
In general, she's looking great, and I'm really looking forward to messing around with her. I'm probably not playing her because she's probably gonna hurt my brain.
Nah, I feel like she's gonna be fun. I think she's gonna be real fun. Very excited to see her. Like I'm very interested in her gameplay for sure. I wish I could find her trailer because all I can find is freaking Annie from the movie Annie.
Yeah,
What the heck? I got it. I'll find it. Anyway, yeah, I'm excited about this. I'm excited about this character a lot, and I want to see what she does, and I want to get my hands on her and just have a good time. Also, I want the Big Band book, the novel that they showed at the beginning. I want that book. I don't know what I gotta do. I don't know who I gotta talk to, but come on, give me the book.
Spell the number on the screen.
Oh
So
no,
you gotta call that number.
you're right. That's what I gotta do. But yeah, exciting news for sure.
Yeah, so that's basically all the news and all
Yeah.
that. So I wanted to take today just to be a fun little gush fest to talk about things that we really like in fighting games.
Yeah.
Because fighting games are cool, and I want to talk about the good stuff. Now, this can be literally anything. Like, it can be something super specific from a game, or it can be like, in general, I love this thing about stuff. It could be anything, basically.
Yeah. Um, I would say you go ahead and start, Garrett.
Yeah, since I created the
you've brought upon the challenge. You should start it off.
Started off strong.
So, there's one thing that I love, and I'm gonna start with this first because I'm gonna start strong with the thing that I love the most, and that's character themes.
Okay.
Like, specifically, in context, I mean, like, an example I can think of are the BlazBlue character themes and Guilty Gear ones.
Okay.
Because Daisuke does a really good job at showing off a character through the theme.
Okay.
That's why I think that's what's so good about them, is that they usually don't show up in most type of games, I think, unless they're bosses.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Or it's a very specific character. Like, for example, in the Mega Man, the Mega Man X games, the Mavericks, of course, they have like stage themes, but all the boss themes are the same. The only character that has like an actual theme in that series is Zero, because it's showing off like just how cool Zero is.
Yeah, because he's the coolest, and everyone loves Zero. Don't we all love Zero? Let's talk about Zero.
But and they do that with the BlazBlue and Guilty Gear games, because although I do really like the music in something like Tekken and in Soul Calibur, because they do a really good job of showing out the stage and having this beautiful orchestral music, and Soul Calibur specifically, I don't care a whole lot about the music in that game in terms of getting hyped. I'm like, oh, this is really good, but that's just kind of it. I just think it's good.
Yeah.
But whenever you're playing something like Ragna versus Jin and you hear Under Heaven Destruction play, then you start losing your mind. Oh, God, this is sick. It fits.
Yeah.
Because it showcases the conflicting ideals of Ragna and Jin and just how different they are despite being brothers. Or like, you get Hazama's theme, which I've talked about during the BlazBlue podcast, which is how good that is, of how it shows off the duplicitous / like double-sided nature of Hazama, of being like this smug asshole. It's like, nah, I'm a pacifist. I don't like fighting. But then who will curb stomp you like the second you turn away from him?
Yeah.
Like, character themes just do that. They show off a character within a theme being like, here's all you need to know about this. You can just listen to a character's theme and you know about them. You don't need to read a novel to be like, okay, now I know that Ragna is a dude who's angry, but he has a good heart, and he's doing all this stuff. You just listen to Rebellion, and you know it through the name Rebellion, and you know it through the tone of the song and all this other stuff that you know that, like, he's trying to do something, he's on a mission, all this other stuff. It's great. Character themes just, they get me. And that's what can get me to love your fighting game. If you have character themes, I love it already. If it's stage themes, those stage themes better be good, because chances are I'm not gonna care too much about your music without it.
Yeah. That honestly really connects with the main thing I try to hold up for with games like this, is just memorable characters in a way. Like, one of the main things about having a memorable character is, like you said, having a memorable theme that connects to them. Something you could listen to and be like, yeah, it works pretty well for them. I like stage themes occasionally, but I really don't care too much when I'm choosing what to play for, like a specific battle or anything. I usually end up going straight for a character theme or something.
Yeah, I think there is.
I don't really like.
Yeah, I think there are 2 exceptions to that rule.
Being what for you?
Skullgirls.
Yeah, okay.
Because there's no character themes for Skullgirls. It's just stage themes. But those stage themes are really good.
Oh, yeah.
Like, Battle Under the Bridge. I don't know what the actual song's called. It's Unfinished Business. It's where you're under the bridge. You have that amazing saxophone solo at the beginning, or you have, like, the Meridian. The theme when you're in Meridian City. There's a lot of great themes in there. But the other one, which I'm going to gush about, because there's another theme that I love, specifically from this game, it's Them's Fighting Herds.
Yeah.
I think, in my opinion, it does stage themes better than Skullgirls. Skullgirls themes are fantastic and probably amazing. However, dynamic themes are so good, because you have maybe 6 stages and 6 characters, and it's like, that's not a lot. How do you make that unique? You do it by adding in variables.
Yeah.
because that game does character variations whenever you are in. Which is another thing I love about the music. I guess I'm just talking about music at this point. Why I love fighting games, because in the character select, it's just a drum beat. But when you select a character on the left side, that will be the main version of the theme, and then if you go on the right side will be like adding in stuff to the background. Like if you pick Velvet on the left, you'll hear like boo, boo. It sounds like a wind, like it sounds super. But however, if you had her on the right, you hear sleigh bells.
Okay.
Like Oleander's stuff, you hear harpsichord on the left, but on the right you hear like an electric guitar, like going like bodum, bodum. So you add that into the stage themes, where it's like, okay, well, how do you change it? Well, let's just do Oleander versus Velvet. If Oleander is winning, you're going to start hearing more. The theme is going to become more electrical. It's going to become more rock with harpsichord in the background. However, if Velvet is winning, the theme will then turn into the same style of theme. However, it's going to be more wintry and more serene kind of.
Jesus, that's actually really cool.
And it's all dependent on who's winning at the time. Whoever has the most health, that'll then change. Like, it's dynamic.
Very interesting for sure.
Well, yeah, I actually really like that.
It's something that literally every time I start somebody off on Herds, I'm like, you need to see this, and I show them the character select. I'm like, don't pick anything yet. You hear it right now? Okay, now I'll pick a character, and then I'll pick a character. Do you see? And they're like, oh, that's pretty cool. I'm like, yeah, it's sick as fuck. Because I'm just losing my mind out of how cool it is.
Yeah.
That's probably really hard to put into like a bigger fighting game with a bigger cast to like play through or something, but that would be really cool to see.
Oh yeah.
Dynamic battle themes. Holy hell.
I like that a lot. That makes the game like very interesting. At the very and it makes like adds to the fun of like character select.
Yeah, because it makes like, again, there's only 6 characters, but like adding that variation adds so much more to the stages. Because it takes a little and does a lot with it.
Absolutely.
So before I continue to like gush about stuff that I like, do you guys have anything that you guys absolutely love?
I hate fighting games. I don't want to talk about fighting games.
Okay, guys,
I'm leaving now.
Thanks for showing up.
No. I think I agree with the concept of I really enjoy characters. I really enjoy the like picking a sick ass character and having like that be like that's who I'm gonna be, and then learning that. I think for me a big portion of what I like about fighting games is the I discovered this or I rediscovered this passion / like this feeling, and I finally found the way to articulate it. Where I was playing Power Rangers Battle for the Grid, and I was learning Goldar, and Goldar, like there's a combo with Goldar, that you have to learn that's about like him doing like multiple air resets and everything, and like my brain kind of like clicked and understood that, and I was having a lot of fun. Like, all right, now that I understand this concept, how can I apply it to other things? And it's kind of it's similar to like learning an instrument where you learn like chords and you learn you learn chords and you learn scales and you learn just little like how to fully use your instrument and make noise and do stuff with your instrument, and then you start like, at first you do covers and you like, I'm gonna play the song, and you learn the song, but then you start being like, all right, I know how to play. How do I like make a song now? And it's like you doing all the things you've learned and applying that to like your play, and it's just like that with fighting games. It's just like you're just learning and applying aspects into that, and like the seeing your results through practice and putting in a lot of time of like, I've been practicing this combo for a long time, and you don't drop it anymore, and it becomes like second nature. I like that feeling. I like that like whole point of fighting games. It's about like practice and getting good at something and like sharpening a skill and just getting the whole like getting the game to like work or getting you to like work with the game. And yeah, I really, really like just getting into training mode for hours and just like messing with stuff and figuring things out and like looking things up and figuring out what works, what doesn't work. I've probably put more hours into training mode than I've put into like most video games, because I just love to like figure things out and like practice and get them good. And then when I get online and I can like land them, it's like, yes, all my hard work and sweat comes to like a point, and like it all works. Like the fact that I can play Zed like very comfortably and very like I get how Zed plays. I understand how Zed combos work. I figured it out and like everything works for me. I was like I feel good now. And like when my brother was in like me and my brother were playing, I was like, oh, I'm gonna play Zed, and like I was only playing Zed, and just like I was landing combos and figuring more things out, and like really making my team to work. And I was like, yes, it's all coming together, and I'm like, you feel like just a satisfaction of like, I am good at this character now, and I am good at this playstyle, and it's a great feeling. It's like how Devil May Cry feels, or how Devil May Cry like tries to make you to feel of like you getting those combos down, or like how there's very few games that literally nail this like feeling. I feel like Doom is another one of like Doom gives you a bunch of tools and you have to like learn to use those tools and do cool stuff with it. But like fighting games is just like that one-on-one competition aspect of it, and it's like when you can land that on someone else, you're like, damn, I am good, or damn, it all comes together.
Yeah, I think that's a really great thing with fighting games is whenever you're like, okay, so that connects into that, so that means this will go into this or whatever. Yeah,
and there's those eureka moments when you get that eureka moment when your brain just goes, oh, wait a minute, and then you do a thing, you're like, oh my god, I get it, it all makes sense, I figured it out. Right. It's a great feeling. It's a like unreal, unbeatable feeling for me when you have that realization and you're like, wait a minute, what if I did? And then you do it and you're like, oh, it does work. And then the journey to there is always just a lot of fun for me. Fighting games are fun, guys. I enjoy me some fight games.
Yeah, that's something I do really love too. It's just like that feeling of like, I guess that goes into something that I also really like about them is how like the nature of a fighting game, how easy it is to just pick up and play for like 20 minutes and then put it back down.
Yeah.
Because like with a RPG, you probably, if you pick it up and play it for 20 minutes, you're not going to make a lot of progress, if any at all. But a fighting game is kind of like a roguelike in a sense of you're like, yeah, I'll do a quick run, or like, I'll do a quick lab session, and then you play for 20 minutes, and you're like, okay, I got that down, and that's it. And you put it down, and you feel accomplished.
Yeah. You get a gratification from like small amounts of gameplay, whereas like, I feel like I have to put in a lot of time, / like, I have to like really play for like 2 hours to really enjoy certain other games story-wise. Like, I can't just play for like 20 minutes and be like, that's it. I could play like 20 minutes of online on a fighting game or 20 minutes of training mode and be like, yeah, I got what I needed out of that.
Yeah, they're very easy to just pick up and have some semblance of fun with.
And
that's the great thing about them, is just they're easy to pick up and play technically.
Yeah. Now you won't be good at them, guys. Yeah. Let's be honest, but you can pick it up, and once like. Cause that's the hardest part for I think everybody when it comes to fighting games. They have to you have to understand what you're doing before you can like start to do anything cool. And people don't like to do that. They just want to press buttons and be good at it.
Do something and then learn while they're doing it, rather than learn first then start doing it.
Yeah,
because that's how because most games are the exact opposite. It's like you're playing it, and then as you're playing it, they add more layers to it. Like an MMO, you have like maybe one thing at first, and then you get more stuff onto your hotbar, and you then get more different specific type of like abilities you can do.
Yeah.
Fighting games, they give you everything. They give you all the entire hotbar, and it's like, here.
Yeah.
Learn this hotbar before you do anything.
It's interesting for sure, and like, when I was playing with my brother, I was teaching him how to play Fexel, right? He was like, just let me hit some buttons. And I was like, no, you need to understand what Goji is. He's like, no, I don't. And he's like, no, you need to. And then when he started like getting into like how Goji works, I could see his like brain like really understanding how to do what he's trying to do. And then also with Power Rangers, I was like, we'll go into training mode because you need to know how this game works before you like start hitting buttons. He's like, no, let me just hit buttons. I'm like, no. Training mode. Then that little bit of training mode, he's like, oh, okay. And then he got pretty good at it by the end of the day. And I was like, all right, look, you're doing it. You know what you're doing, buddy.
Hell yeah. I guess it also leads into another thing that I do like is I like it when fighting game tutorials are not in depth, but just very good at explaining.
Yeah.
So there's a difference. I think there's a difference between a tutorial being good and a tutorial being long.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought about that this week. And I guess it's supposed to be positive, but I'm going to say this. I don't think Uniclear's tutorial is exactly great.
Yeah.
It's great if you're good at fighting games.
Mm-hmm.
It's great if you like fighting games. If you have never played a fighting game and you go into that tutorial, it's one of the worst tutorials you can have.
Yeah. Okay. Interesting.
Because it's wordy. It doesn't really teach you anything exactly well. It just says, here's how you do this thing. And it's like, oh, okay. It's just, I don't think it teaches the player very well. Like new players very well. If you played the Under Night game before this, or you've played literally any other fighting game before this game, then everything is going to make sense. You're like, oh, I get that. But if you haven't played one, I don't think the tutorial is that great. Because it's long. It's like the longest tutorial, I think, of any fighting game ever. There's like hundreds of little mini lessons you can learn.
Yeah.
And that's great which technically that's amazing if you're wanting to learn this game super in and out. But if you're new, it's going to just not make you want to learn.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's like there's too much. Why would you want to do all of that just so you can press a button?
Mm-hmm.
However, an example of a tutorial that I really like is Them's Fighting Herds again. Their tutorials are really neat because they're relatively short, but it's done without reading like a manual.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because a lot of fighting game tutorials just kind of read like a technical manual. Like, here's how you do this. You know? Like...
Yeah.
It's like I'm reading a Gundam model thing of like, oh, put A27 with B36.
Yeah.
It just tells you very, very to the point, here's how you do this thing. You do it by doing this.
Yeah.
Herds does it through the guise of having Oleander be the teacher. And with that, it gives it a sense of like snark to it.
Okay.
There's some snark to it, and there's also just in general, some general like character interaction between her and Fred, her demon.
Yeah.
Where they put it in a perspective where it's very easy for a new player to get it. Like, oh, that makes sense now.
Okay.
Because there's even like a section dedicated to frame data.
Yeah, well, that's interesting that they give you a frame data category.
They do. They tell you like, here's what plus means, and they actually like show you what it means and all this stuff. They're not just like, oh, if it's this, then that means you're good. If not, that means bad. Like they explain it. I don't know. Like I still do think that in most places the Uniclear tutorial is good. I'm not trying to say that's awful. But it's not. I don't think it's good for new players. It's good for people who are already good at fighting games or like fighting games.
Yeah, like they get how the fighting game works. Like they know how fighting games work, and they can like move from there.
Yeah, and another example of a really good tutorial like the Herds one is Guilty Gears.
Yeah, Guilty Gear. I was wondering if you're going to mention that.
Yeah, because like they put everything in the context of really fun mini games.
Yeah.
Of like, oh, you got to hit this. Oh, here's how you do punch. You got to hit this enemy with punch and stuff like that. It's not just like here's how Gatling works, you know, A goes into B. It's like, yo, here is all these enemies in front of you. They're all of them correspond to a button for the Gatling. Go do the Gatling.
Yeah.
And there's even like more advanced ones that you can do as well, like more advanced minigame things you can do as well there that just teach you really well.
Yeah, the minigame aspect of the tutorial is a lot of fun.
Yeah, Hertz also does that, but not with its tutorial. It does that in the story mode.
Okay.
Or there's like there might be some challenges you need to do. One of them is that I didn't play the story mode, mind you, but I did see it a little bit of it, and there's a part where you're inside a cave, and it's like, how'd you get past the cave? Oh, you jump. But you're doing a side-scrolling section, but it's teaching you how to short hop as Arizona, because one of her movement options for her is the KOF style short hop.
Yeah.
So in order to get through this portion of the story mode, you have to learn how to short hop.
Yeah.
I wish more fighting games took like mini game-ized tutorials, so they're not just like really boring for the player.
Yeah. I feel like it's a lot of work, and people don't want to do it.
But when they do it, it's great, and I love it.
Oh yeah.
Mr. Zach, do you have anything that you love in fighting games?
Nah, from what I was hearing, you guys mainly mentioned a lot of the stuff I was liking. Though, I guess I kind of enjoy these fighting games a little bit differently, mainly because I don't usually go into for like fully competitive, like learning all of these moves, fully getting some combos down, all that. I mainly try and go into these fighting games for like really entertaining characters and trying to understand how they move and play, and just having a hell of a good time trying to learn them anyways.
Yeah.
I mentioned really liking memorable characters and the themes connecting to them. Character design in general has also been really, really good on helping me get used to these fighting games.
Yeah, character designs are super important, and I do love them too when they just work. Or like, I guess it also leads into another thing, is that the character designs help a character click with you.
Mm-hmm.
So I love it whenever you play a fighting game and a character just clicks, and you're like, yeah, this is my character.
Yeah.
So for some reason, when I started playing when I played Uni-L, I played Hyde. I think Hyde and Akatsuki are the ones that I played. I mainly played Hyde because I'm like, oh, Hyde's a Shoto, I'll play the Shoto character. And then cut to Eunice comes out, and I'm playing a lot of like Phonon and stuff because I'm like, oh, Phonon's really cute. I really like her design, and I still think she's cute as fuck. But there was one time I'm playing with my friends. I'm like, I'm gonna mess around with Gordeau. I haven't touched him once in Uni-L, and I thought he was okay. I then played him in Eunice, and it clicked.
Mm-hmm.
Just landing in assimilation, like that animation of like him holding you like with his one arm, and then like stabbing into the other arm, then ripping it out really fast. No, just like all his animations just look so clean, and it just clicked.
Right.
And then he became my character.
Yeah.
The animations that get connected with a character have always been really big on whether or not I connect with them. Like, I started off with fighting games with BB Tag, having almost no knowledge of any of the fighting games connected with it. Like, I didn't know shit about BlazBlue or Eunice. I was just going in for for Ruby and Persona, but the more I got into it, I was like, wait, shit, there's a Persona fighting game. Shit, what? These BlazBlue characters are actually fun. Who the fuck is this, and why haven't I been trying them out, though? At all. All of the characters in BB Tag have a lot of animations that really help them stand out, even among this giant roster. It's almost intoxicating trying to come up with different teams that are just fun to try out.
Yeah,
I feel like
even if you don't win, it's just fun to have different kinds of combinations of memorable characters.
I feel like the BlazBlue characters especially do a really good job at having really great animations behind them.
Yes.
An example, I think, I'm going to use Ragna as an example of being a really good character with really great animations.
Right.
Because his idle animation is kind of okay. It's just him just like doing like breathing, but you can tell that he just looks mad. And his like idle animation, when he wants you to hurry up, he like just like moves his head a little bit, like he like moves his hair, like he's getting annoyed. There's an animation specifically that I think showcases his character perfectly. It's in BB Tag, it's in its B auto combo, and in all the other BlazBlues is in game. It's in a move called "It's Not Over Yet," and that's when you go over to a downed opponent, you pick them up and you punch them.
Yeah.
Like, you just pick them up and you're like, no, get back up. I am going to continue beating you up. Which fits for Ragna of being like, I hate you. Get up. I am not done with you.
It's a good one for sure.
Just little animations to tell the personality of these characters is just also wonderful to go through.
And also with the animations, outros are another thing that are really great.
Yes.
Like not necessarily with what they say, but just the animations of them. My favorite style of outro is I'm calling it the wing outro.
Oh, yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about.
I mean that in context of Ragna, Naoto, Natsu Kurogane specifically, Jin, and Rock Howard.
Yep.
Where when they win, they turn around and they move their hand down, and when they do, you see like a wing show up behind them. With Rock, he does like a really heroic like puts his hand down like a super heroic, and you see like the blue flame wings show up, and it's like, oh, that's really sick.
You
Jin
got
turns around, and when he does, he turns to the side, and he just like looks all like elegant and stuff. So you see like a elegant ice wing show up behind him to reflect that. And with Frog Knight, he turns around so suddenly and moves his hand down so fast. You see like a black wing show up.
Yeah.
The wing outro is my favorite style of outro.
The wing is a good visual motif for sure when it comes to outros.
Absolutely.
It's real good. I really love just like character based storytelling and character based game, like character based anything, and like fighting games are just all about your character and like how do you just like describe a character personality in gameplay or in movement or in theme.
Too, that's also on to my other thing with character outros, is also the character outros interact with the other characters that are down.
Yeah.
Like, I don't like Celica that much, but I really like her outro when she walks up to you and starts healing you.
Yeah.
Or like Nine, when she walks over to you, she just steps on your body. It's like, yo, I'm going to beat you up now or something, you know? Mm. Or like, my favorite example is Hazama has one. He has a few outros. One of his outros, he just shrugs, which I love. But he has one where he'll walk over to your body, like do like a little crouch and start spinning his hat.
Mm-hmm.
Because he's like, what are you doing? How come you're done already?
Mm-hmm. It's there's a lot of great outros in a lot of games. Especially the anime game. Anime games really love to go ham on those. I mean, you have like dramatic finish in Dragon Ball FighterZ, which is just built in, like, hey, land this specifically, you're just gonna get the anime, like, get excited.
Yeah.
And like there's a lot of great in fighting games with animation and such like that. I wish more games, like, I want more fighting games, man. They're all good, and I are not all good, you know, but like I love when a fighting game like nails anything. Like when you just get those like really clean animations or that really fun gameplay or that really great character moments, and it's a good time.
This isn't about fighting games specifically, but it's a subsect of fighting games. And that's, I love it whenever the fighting games have like cultivated a community enough that when you post, like, whenever there's a reveal trailer live and people go apeshit.
Oh, yes.
Yes.
So there's two examples that I have that are my favorite examples ever. The first one is what happened recently, like a few months ago during Arc Revo, whenever they're showing off the new Strive trailer.
Yeah.
Then everyone just starts singing Smell of the Game.
Yeah.
And apparently my friends Pizza, Juan, and Blackjack went to Arc Revo, and they were there during that.
That's awesome.
So they got to sing Smell of the Game in the crowd.
Mm-hmm.
So that's one of my favorite things, because everyone's just singing, and you can hear whenever everybody messes up, they just keep going.
Yeah.
Because they're all having a great time. That's something that I love. But I talked about it during the BlazBlue one, and I talked about it during the second episode about how we got into fighting games and all this other stuff, but the BB Tag intro is still, reveal trailer is still my favorite reveal trailer ever.
Mm-hmm.
Watch that again. I think you posted that earlier on Twitter.
Yeah, I watched it again yesterday, and I'm like, I still absolutely love this reaction.
Yeah,
because it's everyone just being like, yeah, go Jubei, yeah, Jubei's, and just like, you know, being courteous, and everyone's being like, they're hyped, but it's not just, you know, regular hype. And then everyone's quiet during the beginning of the BlazBlue intro. They're like, oh, it's Ragnar and Jin, whatever. It's a new BlazBlue game. Okay. And then you just see Narukami and Hyde rush in, and then everyone just starts going ape shit. Everybody starts screaming as loud as they can, because they're like, wait, what?
What year of EVO was that again? Was that 2016, 2017?
2016, I believe. 2017, maybe.
Because, like, there was a few years of EVO, I think it was like 2016 and 2017, where like the announcements were just like on point. Like,
yeah, that was the same year as Geese, I believe.
Oh man, the Geese, nope, that was, I think, 2017, because that's the same year as Geese, and that's the same year as Skullomania. where they announced Geese, and then they're like, "Oh, Rico wants to come out," and I was like, "Oh, they're gonna talk about Fighting EX Layer," and then just all of a sudden Skullomania was there, and I was just like crying. Or like again, Geese Howard being in Tekken.
Yeah,
that's a great trailer. Few trailers like really nail like, dude, look how fucking cool that this guy's in it right now, and like that Geese trailer is like, oh fuck yeah, Geese is in it. The Geese is Lease.
Well, they do the what's it called? I think that was also the year that Trunks was shown off for Fighters.
Oh yeah, that was dope. Yeah, man, a really good trailer can really like also sell your whole game and sell like excitement. Like that fighting games just get me excited, man. Few things get me as excited as like character trailers or like going to a tournament or something and then being like, oh man, I can't wait to like one just play with people, but then like going to Evo and then be like, I'm ready for the announcements and like few things get me jump out of my chair as like quickly as like stupid like few things get me as excited and give me the adrenaline like seeing Blitztank get put into BB Tag, right? Like I did not care about any of the characters that were announced before that, and then Blitztank rolled in and I'm like like it got up and like jumped. It's amazing.
One of the best reactions I ever saw for these reveals was actually yours, Garrett, when the second BB Tag 2.0 trailer released.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, seeing your reaction to Adachi of all things was just it was so good.
Yeah. It's fighting games are a lot of just like you get a lot of just like great things out of it, and they're fun to like be a part of and be in that community / that like enjoying
in general is just amazing.
Also, like just watching tournament footage or watching tournaments and watching people play is always very relaxing and enjoyable. And like going to like Evo is great, or has always been great for me. Has just been like I get to go compete for a little bit, I'll lose, I get to watch other people compete and like enjoy the community and see everybody and do stuff, and then announcements happen and that's awesome, and then getting to try out new fighting games that are like by indie guys and everything. Yeah, Evo's great. Fighting games, real great.
Yeah. Jeez.
Nice.
Yeah. Don't worry, I'm smart. I swear. Is there anything else we can gush about, or do you think we like hit everything?
Too much more to add on. I like the only thing I really say is like I like playing with my friends. I like doing late night, playing till deep into the middle of the night and getting excited over it. And I like learning games with people, and like I enjoy like you said, the community aspect of it. Like I don't have too much more besides that. Fighting games are cool.
Yeah.
You, Garrett, you got anything else you want to say?
No, not that I know of, actually.
All right.
Sure about that.
But I think I said everything I needed to because it's just great. Fighting games are fantastic, and you should play them. And just play whichever one.
Yeah. Just play them. That's all that matters. Play a fighting game.
Yeah, so I think that calls it for this time. It's a very short podcast, clocking in at like an hour 15, but that's all I wanted to do. I wanted to do a short one. I wanted to just gush. Talk about how cool things are. Next week, we're going to be doing something different. I don't know yet, but I'll figure it out. And then we'll have a more specific thing to talk about. But until then,
Right.
I was joined by Austin.
That's me.
Yeah, and Zach once again.
Also here.
Yeah, and then I'm your host, Garrett, as usual. And hopefully, we'll see you guys next week to do more dumb talk about fight games.
I thought you were gonna cut it out, right? We said we're gonna do for more, and then cut, and it's over. And be like, all right, nice podcast, guys.
Like a rose, so